Live.
We're going live now. I'm waiting until, because what it does is it fucking rips you off. You look beginning. Oh, it says it started on Raconteurs News.
It does. I better turn my thingy on.
Is that what went?
Yeah, it was telling me, just sending me a message telling me we're on. Apparently we're on.
Are we?
Yeah.
Super Leagues is called us Gaylords.
Oh, he's an arse.
That's what we'd like, wouldn't it? If we're Gaylords. So anyway, be quiet. Otherwise, you break the illusion.
Go on then.
Break the illusion of live TV.
Go on then.
There we
Oh.
Good evening. Welcome to Raconteurs News. See, it went from 0 to 37 then in like one fell swoop. I know people get that wrong as well. That's another one that gets on my nerves that people get wrong. Good evening. Welcome to Raconteurs News. This Monday evening, I've had no luck getting a guest. I did invite Vinny Eastwood on. I have had some contact with Max Egan, but Max seems to be... Max has always been the same when it comes to the conversations always take a long time between us. So we'll get him on, but we'll give him some hard questions. I'm not just going to give him a free ride. He's not just going to be able to tell me that there's this bolt of lightning that's hit him in the face while they were laid in bed and all that. I'm not having that. I'd like to get him on and just give him a proper interview rather than, I think, some soft touches he's going to get if he's doing the rounds. As usual, joining me this evening is my esteemed colleague in his very warm-looking house. It's Aid Hardy. Good evening, Aid. How are you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. Thank you. Well, in fact, I'm perfect, but you already knew that.
Well, yeah, of course I did. I would just...
It's just been... Yeah, I know.
Yes.
No, I got the... I put the fire behind me tonight because I noticed on the TV listing today. I always have a look just to see what I'm missing and see if I can guess what things are about. But
go on then.
This, 8 o'clock. This program is on Channel 4 as we speak. Australia on fire. Climate emergency.
Yeah, of course it is. Fucking useless cunts, aren't they?
Fucking climate emergency.
Nobody's buying it. I don't even get why they keep doing it.
Yeah. But the point is, it's not a fire emergency. It's not a people emergency because all their houses are getting burnt down.
Or a people emergency because it's people that are starting them.
Yeah.
Starting the fires. But I'm sorry. I'm obscuring the lovely face there, as you can see, of the great and hopefully soon to be late Mark Steele, who is the 5G weapons expert of the year and has won numerous awards. We'll be talking about him a little bit later on. Sorry, Eddie, you were saying, it's not fire. It's climate.
It's just any excuse to use the word terror or climate.
Well, we had another terrorist incident, didn't we, over the weekend? Yeah,
what was all that about? Because I got to be honest, I didn't look at any news, didn't hear any TV, nothing yesterday. I've kind of only just got a bit of a drift today. So what happened and what's supposed to have happened and where was it supposed
Well, I don't know. All I know is one guy got shot and he was being followed by MI5 because they believed he was a terrorist. He'd been released from prison for terrorism charges and they'd been watching him and things. And then suddenly something went off in London. I don't know what happened. A couple of people got caught in some crossfire. They saw that he'd got a suit on, a bomb suit wrapped around him and everything. So they obviously eliminated him, and they found out that it wasn't really a bomb vest. It was I don't know exactly what it were, but I'm always drawn to I'm always drawn to when people are talking about that. I imagine they've got like a vest of and it's got like, instead of TNT things, it's got like fake hot dog sausages You know what I mean? And they carry it, put it round them, and shout "Allahu Akbar" because they want to get shot dead. That's what they. And then his fucking mother comes out and says, "No, he were done in prison." So when mother's coming out and saying publicly things, there's something not quite right. And I didn't leave a message. I just put on his page. Apparently Peter Power was wheeled out as well to make a statement. Not seen him since 7/7. Well, I've seen him. I saw it. He was on at 7/7, and also he was a big media person that were being interviewed after the riots. Remember the riots in 2000? And I remember he used to have this. He did it on every single show. Do we want a police service or do we want a police force? Or and all this utter fucking nonsense. But yeah. If Peter Power's been, if Peter Power has been on, then it's obviously dodgy. He was the one who was there on 7/7. I don't know if you know of Peter Power there on 7/7 and saying to everybody, we were doing a drill like they always are. We were doing a drill. All the various the same places they got it. At exactly the same times, and
just a bit like 9/11, then, but different.
A bit like, yeah, a bit like, yes. He was the one because we had Ollie Damagard on quite a while ago. Ollie Damagard is quite well known.
Oh yeah.
I think he's Swedish or Danish or. Somewhere right, but we had Ollie Damagard on, and he said that Peter Power had said that he were doing this exercise with 1,000 people, and I said no, he didn't actually say that. I said he said it was the company of 1,000 people, so the company had 1,000 people. There could have been just one or two there at this thing. So he said no, he definitely said that it were 1,000 people. I said look. Just go and have a listen now. So we had a little musical interlude. Andy put a record on, and he came back and said, "Yeah, you're right. It's he said a company of 1,000 people, but that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's the way that things are worded."
Yeah, it always is. I mean, it's like if you were an advert, nobody does it better than us. Yeah, but there might be 25 other companies who do it just as well. Yeah, it's just words, isn't it?
Yeah, well, interesting from Super Leeds. Shield Destroyer as well. I've seen a couple of his videos. He's doing okay with the videos. I think they keep popping up and I keep watching them. They're really short and easy to.
They're just short, punchy, and there's generally a link down to a full video somewhere. That's what I like about Mark's stuff. He kind of gives you the punchline and pushes you in the right direction, shows you where to look, and then it's up to you after that, which I like. Unlike us, who drag you kicking and screaming, whether you like it or not, through an edge backwards.
I'm looking for a comment. I don't know if you saw it, Super Leeds, but here we go. He ended up pissed up in a Premier Inn last night. 2 cops in my room, and I was apparently a missing person called Chris. Very interesting, Leeds. That's... it's a very interesting thing.
These 2 coppers, were they male or female?
I don't know. They could have been either or, couldn't they?
Yeah.
And you can't. And we've got Dom Telling Pike, which I believe is Neil, and he says protecting Jewish bankers. Didn't Peter Power say? I don't know. I didn't hear Peter Power actually. So perhaps if you could find a little bit of audio, I could play it as long as I'm not treading on anybody's toes or getting anybody getting any copyrighted stuff on it. That's why I don't want because once they start on us, they'll never stop.
Copyright. I saw a copyright thing. Was it this morning or yesterday? No, it's got to be this morning. Can't have been yesterday because I saw nothing yesterday. Greta Thunberg. Who's got to go on a boat, even though her security staff all fly and drive big Range Rovers and shit like that. Apparently, she's copyrighted her name and her movement.
What, her bowel movements?
Don't know. She's copyrighted her name and copyrighted her. Shouldn't call it an organisation. Her movement.
Which is Extinction Rebellion, is it then? So she'll be selling Extinction Rebellion t-shirts at $5 a piece, all made in sweatshops in China, which is pumping out millions and millions of billions and billions of tons of fucking carbon every pair of plates.
Yeah,
it's the hypocrisy is it's just unbelievable. But well, it's not unbelievable; it's believable. I mean, I listened to today. I put Sky Sports News on. I like, you know, if it's in background, there's some sport on, and sometimes and they had this one on today, and it were about a West Ham fan who had been ejected from the London Stadium, which is where they play now, for being homophobic towards Brighton fans. Now, Brighton, as we know, is the capital of where the capital of gays, isn't it? It's like it's San Francisco in England.
Yeah,
but we are all steep hills. And it was just the usual rubbish. West Ham, our main priority is with diversity and all this sort of shit. We won't put up with this. It's zero tolerance. And you think to yourself, for fuck's sake, it's the same thing every time. You know,
they're actually making more of it than he did.
Well, exactly. You don't see it when you smoke.
No, it's great. I just saw it.
Yeah.
Anybody would think I wasn't really sat in a fire, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Yeah, you are. So yeah, it's the same thing over and over again. It's these. It's our number one concern. We're here at Raconteurs News. You know, our diversity is number one. And we look for anybody with any sort of behaviour, homophobic. Oh, hang on. Homophobic, out like that. Then they're not going to be. They're not going to be. It's just fucking ridiculous. Same old shit every fucking time.
It's just bollocks, isn't it?
Same old shit. Oh, this terrorism, by the way.
Oh yeah, go on then.
He was shot dead. His name was Sudesh Aman. Apparently he'd been in.
And where was it? Where was it?
It were in Streatham, I think, in southeast London.
Okay.
That it happened, but he'd been in prison apparently on terrorism charges. I don't know why we decide to let terrorists. If you're going to lock them up, well, I suppose you've got due process, haven't they? And if you get locked up for 5 years, then they do 5 years, or they do exactly what they're going to do. Whether it's reduced sentence automatically, it's halved, isn't it? The sentence is automatically halved.
There's some rule. I think there's some rule. Is it if they get 18 months or more, they half it. But if they get up to 18 months, it's not. They've got to serve it. So they're actually better off getting 18 months and serving 9 than getting 12 months. Something like that. Somebody else might be able to put more meat on that.
I don't know. Probably some voice behind me will probably just inform me what's right and what's wrong, but I don't know.
It's a shame we don't know somebody who's a prison officer, really, isn't it? Never mind.
Steve Owens has put EastEnders or RN. Yeah, evening, all easy choice. Smart choice, Stephen. That's the smart choice. EastEnders is just like, how's your weekend been anyway? No, just a couple of things that I wanted to say. I've got written down here, and I just want to get them out of the way before. I just want to say thanks to. It says thanks to Johnny Jamrag here, but I'm talking about Johnny Jam Shovel, John Hull, who does the write-ups. Now the problem I've had is he sends me the write-ups and they're in Word, and I haven't got, since I've had to erase this computer, I've not got Word on it, and I've got it on an old. I've got a cracked version on an old hard drive, so I'm going to put it on. And I'm going to get them up. So thank you very much to you, Johnny, for beginning again doing the write-ups, because he's as cool a bloke in the world as there is. He's like your uncle. You know your uncle.
Ah.
Yeah, he's like that. He's like a nice uncle who used to give you 10 pence when you were a kid.
My uncle used to come home on leave from the army. Now, bearing in mind he was the provost sergeant at Colchester Nick, right?
Right.
He used to come home on leave, and his idea of going to the off license was a tray of beer under each arm and a bottle of whiskey in each pocket, and he'd be all right for the day. That's what I remember my uncle doing. Because so when you said my uncle, that's the only one that I really remember. So give me 10 pence and send me for some sweets.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they did.
Yeah.
There we go. Just check. Fucking hell. That's what I had an Uncle Alan, but we called him Uncle Lion because whenever he gave us, we saw him, he gave us 10 pence with a lion on it. So he always got called Uncle Lion. And now I think about it, 10 pence, tight git, man, tight git. Imagine, there were nowhere to spend.
10 pence would buy a penny bubbly now, would it?
Of course it would. It would. Shield Destroyer used to call it, says he used to call it East Benders, Ron, as they started always having to have some male gay couples. Yeah, that's right. It did. That were happening in the 80s. And the interesting thing is as well, when we talk about diversity and we talk about how it's being rammed down his throats, whether it's homophobia or whether it's interracial, you know, every advert that you see these days is the couples are interracial. In most ways, most of the adverts these days, it's like, I think it were Dan Bostock who wrote something on that every time you watch an advert, it's like having a lecture on diversity. Yeah. Because, they're all different people. I was watching something on YouTube today when I was in the kitchen cleaning up after I'd cooked tea. I was watching and it showed an advert and it was completely different. It was nothing to do with what we're talking about now. It were about what were it about? Oh, it was about TV. Sony. It were about Sony. I have these things going on back in me, on telly and kitchen when I'm cleaning up, and it was about Sony, and it showed an advert from 1983, and it was pretty much the same thing. It were. They were a mixed race. There were at least, there were a couple of black people. It was supposed to represent the family. And what it did is it had the TV and it had the settee. Then it had the bloke and the woman, and then the bloke and the woman, and it sort of like were a passage of time. Yeah. And then the kids come and grow up, and then their grandkids come, and the grandkids were all different colours. It was just so it's not like exactly like a new thing. It's been going on for quite a while.
You mean a bit like a single mum in a really rough area who's got a Chinese kid, a black kid or a mixed race kid, and she's got like 4 or 5 kids and they've all obviously got different dads.
Yeah. But yeah, because that's okay. That's okay. The family values. You don't want to restore family values because how can you anyway? Back in the day, it used to be the man that went to work, the woman stayed at home, looked after the kids, and they'd be able to have enough to pay the mortgage or pay the rent or whatever because they were in social housing. There were a lot of council houses back then, and they'd be able to one person work and the other person, perhaps you might have a bar job for a bit of pin money, as it used to be called. Remember, but. It would mostly be one breadwinner, and now can you imagine one breadwinner in a house? It's just not going to work, is it?
No, never. It's the top rich have got top richer, and I had a great one the other day. Why can't we just get the rich to pay more tax? The rich don't pay tax. They just don't pay tax.
That's why they're rich.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of goes out the window. There's all this stuff, and like I said the other day when that guy said, why do we have to pay for it? Why can't the government pay for it? Why does he think that when the government pay for it, he's not paying for it? It's just, and they kind of put all this stuff on to just banging it into you. Even a lot of general stuff that you see, like daft adverts for crap. The couple that are in it, and nearly, you just turned into a ghost then. The couple that are in it are not normally mixed race. It's more common to see a non-heterosexual couple
Yeah, I saw some lesbians overnight on one of them dating adverts. There's an advert for a dating app, and there were a couple of lesbians laid on bed having a snog and that with each other. And I thought to myself, there you go. That's part of it. That's part of the. It's not them saying, look how diverse we are and how virtue. Them virtue signaling. It would simply because blokes like to see. I'm not fucking. I'm not telling lies when I say blokes like that sort of thing. It titillates them, and it might be an idea for them to get onto that side. I don't know. It's just fucking weird.
I think
just weird.
What's obvious is, I don't know what the percentage is, but is it safe to say that more than 50% of couples are heterosexual? Is that safe?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So say for example, it's 60-40. 40% something other than male, female, heterosexual.
Okay.
So you would expect that about the same percentage of whatever we see in adverts and TV, etc., should reflect that. Because a bit like a question time audience, it always reflects the population, not.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's supposed to, isn't it? But it's more than the other way. It's like 80-odd% of it is heterosexual, and is anything other than heterosexual, and only the things that's left is heterosexual. Now, I don't care which it is; it don't bother me. But I like watching two women snogging. Why not? But the main thing is, if it's supposed to represent the population, it doesn't. And that's because it's not supposed to represent the population. What it's supposed to do is normalize anything other than being heterosexual.
Yeah. Meet gay men in your area. Want to date tonight. Only asked how many what percentage were gay. Fuck's sake. I'm going to have a look. Percentage of gay. I think it.
Oh, sorry. I'm just looking at the chat room, and you're obviously Googling or whatever you're doing. I hope you're using the Brave browser and a VPN.
I'm actually using Start Page.
Oh, okay. Brave, by the way, is great. Really good. Really, really excellently good.
Right. Okay. Listen to this. Just listen to this. In the United States, where's this from? 2018. In the United States, the estimate of LGBT population rises to 4.5%. Right. So that's lesbians, gays, trans, whatever. Oh, that's that's
the Q apparently stands for queer.
I know, but I don't get that. Why do you need queer? What's queer? Is that what is a queer?
I don't know.
I know what I used to call a queer when when we were kids, and you used to call your mates queer. I knew what that meant, but I mean, what does Q mean? We've already got LBGT.
But if you've got 6 or 10 blokes or lads playing football, whether they were 10 or 35 or even 45, you'd have one called Ginge, you'd have one called Fatty, you'd have one called Baldy. Because when blokes are like kicking a football about or doing something a bit competitive, they'll always pull out a degrading, on the edge of taking the piss out of your mate nickname. Because it's just what blokes do.
Yeah, of course it is. That's what blokes do, yeah.
But when you've got, more than 90% of couples are heterosexual, apparently, that means that 90% of the adverts and TV drama script and that should reflect that, wouldn't you? Just like a question time audience that's supposed to represent the population. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, Paul,
I heard him say that the other night, and I just thought it was hilarious.
Paul has put, in my opinion, I'd rather look at the kindness, humour, and compassion in a soul than their sexual preference. That's just me.
Exactly.
I think I think that's a lot of us. I mean, that are watching this, that have, you're not watching this because you've just, because you're wondering what all this moo wee stuff is or whatever. But this is what we do, isn't it? We look at people differently, and we don't sexualize people, apart from where it's supposed to be done. But we don't. We prefer to look at people like they say. We're in agreement with you, Paula, down there in Cornwall, and I hope that pain's subsiding for you, and you're feeling okay. And if you're feeling okay, I'll cheering you up.
Go on. No, Mark, Shield Destroyers put in gay was 0.000 whatever percent until they started heavily vaccinating us. That could be true. But, of course, like I said the other night, loads of women, how long ago? 30, 40 years ago, there was no such thing as the pill. Well, what goes in a woman's mouth will, go through, but it's got to come out again. And if she's taking a pill with it...
I can't believe you were talking about sex and you've mentioned what was in a woman's mouth.
Sorry, no, that's not what I mean. If she's taking an oral pill to stop for contraception, and then she has a wee into the water system, the water system is constantly being recycled and cleaned, etc. before it comes out your tap. So surely there's an increased amount of estrogen in our water system. That maybe did some of it. I don't know. I ain't got a clue. But, I think kids now are, and I mean kids like school kids, it's almost like they're encouraged. It's not just that schools and after school clubs and stuff like that are making it okay. It's like they're encouraging it. Something else that I realized as well, when we were kids, we had a community centre and a youth centre, and maybe not every night, but at least 2 nights a week, one of them would be Saturday, there'd be something going on at the community centre or the youth centre for the kids. Even if it was a bit of music going on and, I don't know, a trampoline in the middle of the room that everybody was taking. Do you know what I mean? It didn't have to be a lot, but there'd be something going on at the community centre. Now, that doesn't happen. And any and all school activities now, guess where they're run from? Schools. So there's a breakfast club and there's an after-school club. Well, when I was a kid, it was called detention. But you know what I mean? And everything now is controlled from the school. So from an even younger age now, it's almost pumped into them that, well, if you're not one of these LGBTQ, you must be strange. Because that's what they see.
Yeah. There's a lot of people saying, Steve Owens has just put a good point. Gay numbers, increasing social engineering or hormone disruptors. Interesting. I mean, we're talking about vaccines and stuff like that, where I know Alex Jones years ago used to bang on about how they made frogs gay. I don't know how you. I don't know. What did someone walk in and catch him? But I don't know whether I don't know if it's true or not. But I remember Alex Jones kept going on about it and kept talking about how there was something that I think it was something they put in the water. Or again, if it's vaccines, again, like you say, it's going to go into the water system, innit?
Yeah.
And we know they put fluoride in as well. So what about a few little other things? They're not bothered about that, aren't they?
Well, I've said this many times as well, and they said, you come and get your flu jab, and I ask them what's in it. And they what? And it's like you've asked them, please give me every chemical element. And I ain't done that. Just tell me what's in it. And it's like you've asked a completely... It's like I've said to her, why is grass green? Do you know what I mean? It's just, why would you ask that? She said, what do you mean? It's a vaccine. Yeah, what's in it? I don't know. And that's how good the programming is. Because even somebody who's supposed to be medically trained is given boxes and boxes and boxes full of syringes to stick in people's arms. And she's medically trained. And she hasn't read the sheet on what it is. That's how good the indoctrination is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, like we had the experience with Daisy. Shall we call her Daisy? We had the experience with Daisy, didn't we? Where it was the same thing. She was asking to see what the insert for what they were giving her, and then she said, "I can't give informed consent without it." And they didn't they forcibly give it her? Something?
Yeah, they ended up saying to her she got a choice. She could either take it or they'd basically strap it onto the bed and inject her with it.
Right.
But I don't know if you remember, but bearing in mind she's in a mental health ward, okay, which is in a complex of at least, how many would you say, Jason? Another 8 or 10 wards, probably at least 4 or 5 other wards. So it's part of a mental hospital. She wasn't just like in a little room because she gone bonkers. She was in a proper mental health unit.
But that was designed like a prison because it had a central hall.
Absolutely.
And it had arms going off with rooms where patients, shall we call them, they're not really, they're inmates, were kept, and she had bars on her windows. So essentially it's a prison. It's
a prison, exactly right. I mean, I told them that loads of times. They didn't really like me in there, but bollocks, I don't give a shit, really. But when...
It's because what?
What'd she say?
Detained under Mental Health Act.
Right.
Detained under section whatever.
Yeah.
Mental Health Act. So that's why it's like a prison. You've been detained. Like being arrested.
Go on then, Jason. Relay that.
Well, she's just saying that it's because you've been detained. That's why it's like a prison. You're being detained under the Mental Health Act.
Whichever section is the amount of time.
And whichever section you are detained under, it decides how long you're going to be in there. Which is why we were able to get to Daisy out.
Yeah. The other, but while she was in there, not only was she asking him for the nice sheets, the drug sheets, she also asked him for a copy of the Mental Health Act because she wanted to check up on a few points. Now, I don't know how many. Sorry, I've just read that. Yeah, does anyone? Yeah, okay.
60 now, by the way.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, I'm going for a drink.
No, I forgot what I was saying. That's why I'm stuttering. I read that and now I can't remember.
She asked for a copy of the Mental Health Act.
Yeah, she asked for a copy of the Mental Health Act. And are you just going down in the basement, Jason?
Yeah, just...
Yeah, she asked for a copy of the Mental Health Act. And, it must have been an hour and a half later. We said, did you get the copy of the Mental Health Act for us? Yeah, we haven't got one in this ward, but there must be one on the other wards. So about an hour and a half later, excuse me, did you get us that copy of that Mental Health Act? Can you give us about another hour? And I'm thinking, this is stupid. So another 2 hours went by. There'd been a shift change. So I went into the office and I said, did we get that copy of the Mental Health Act? Oh, my colleagues left a note. Sorry, we don't have one in the complex. So a mental health unit does not have a copy of the Mental Health Act. They were actually going to have to go and try and get one from the local general hospital, which they never did.
It's the same. The same when I asked for a Quran. They didn't have a Quran in police station.
Did you ask for one?
Yeah, so I said that this was back when I got arrested for the David Beckham blackmailing thing.
Oh yeah.
When they locked me up, they kept saying to me, "You've been locked up." I kept because I were being belligerent. I didn't know any of this stuff, but I were being belligerent to what.
Yeah. Oh, well,
And
yeah,
they said,
yeah. Go on.
"Do you understand?" And I said no, and they kept having to put me in a holding cell for 15 minutes and couldn't take any of my property or do anything until I said I understand. And I said to them, "I will understand if you get me a Quran." And they said, what do you want a Quran for? I said, "Just get me a Quran. If you get me a Quran, I'll do it." And they went running about all over the police station. And about an hour later, someone came up with the Quran. So I said, "All right, I understand." But I didn't know back then. I didn't know that I could play that game. But I was playing it without knowing. And then later on in my life, I've understood that I didn't have to. If I'd have carried on, I'd have just. But I suppose we being David Beckham and it would be blackmail and it being quite high profile, I've got to get rid of that off screen. Yeah, that I didn't really know anything, so I was sort of playing the game, but not realizing what game I was playing. Didn't realize I were even in a game.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
so it's it's nuts. The mental health system's used, mental health acts used in far too many cases where it doesn't need to be, where it shouldn't be, and it's used as it's punitive as well. So it's not used as a measure to save, protect the public or do anything like that.
correct.
Oftentimes it's just punitive, like it were with Daisy. And if she'd not got the information that we were able to get to her, I mean, we don't got because she had to done the full 28 days, and then they probably would have sectioned her again.
Yeah. But just got a couple of comments in the chat room about understanding. You just never understand, and when they say why, just say because I know what it means and laugh.
Just don't. Just say no. That's all you got to do. You don't have to laugh at them. That's just making things even worse. That you're then making them onto a he's tried to say something to me. He's tried to make me look less masculine than I am, so I'm going to do something else. Just don't laugh. Just say no. I don't understand.
What I always find amazing is that they go out and supposedly do this job, and it's no big secret that South Yorkshire Police isn't even fit for purpose. And the guys who were asked to do it, the people who join the police force think they're going to join it to do something good. Find out that what they're doing isn't what they thought it was going to be. Then they get the rug pulled from underneath their feet because nobody's got any money. We're cutting this, we're cutting that, they're cutting the other. And then they end up where they're not actually just walk the beat and stop crime because there's always a bobby not very far away. They're firefighting, trying to put fires out because they're just being reactive. And you end up with the police service that's just not fit for purpose.
No, it's not. No.
And not only that, it's not the common law offences, death, harm, and loss that they're going after. It's anything that they can put your name on because it's a contract they can get some money from. It's completely flipped on its head. It's upside down, just like almost everything else in this stupid place.
59 Broadhurst is just put in the chat room. Did Aid say he used to be a cop?
No, my brother was. And
let's not start any rumours. We had someone shouting at you, calling you a bailiff before. So
call me what you like. I'm not bothered. It's just hilarious.
But you would have never passed fitness test anyway.
Me?
You've always been a chunky chap, haven't you?
Yeah. I always remember when, when I was at school and they used to them, what do they call it? When you were coming to the end of your last year at school, they'd get like a local builder would come in and they'd talk to the whole class. And then a guy who used to be at the school, but now, I don't know, runs his own window cleaning business, he'd come in and he'd talk to the whole class. And everybody looks forward to the bit where they bring the police car, and anyway, one of our, I think he was head of upper school, a teacher called Kenneth Bodie.
Oh, we had
and he was a special copper. Now, bearing in mind, this is when I was about 15, right? He was a special copper, but he was a big boy. He was a big lad. Kind of not in a muscular way, but he was a big boy. Unlike myself. Anyway, he then chose not to have anything to do with this chat by these two bobbies who'd come to convince us all that we ought to apply to be police because that was a career we might want to do. And this kid stands up and he says, "Excuse me, is it right that you had a fitness test?" And both these bobbies go, Yeah, it's quite right. It's quite tough. Yeah. So this lad down sat next to him, he stands up and he says, "Well, how come that fat bastard Ken Bodie got in then?" And I think that was kind of where that meeting stopped and everybody just got kicked out. So
we used to have a teacher at school. He was a PE teacher, and his name, he was just known as Gay Bodie.
Right, okay.
And he used to, I don't know what his first name were, but he used to take a lot of notice in showers. And he used to, you know how you get some people, they go in showers and they run through and get wet and go back and get as if they'd had a shower because they got a little dick or they've got no fumes or something. I was one of them. So what he'd do is he'd make you go back in and he'd stand there watching you. He'd stand and watch you have a shower. And, influence, he were rugby team, cricket team, all sports that he didn't like football. So there's another one. If you don't like football, but you like, rugby or all that, and that were another point here. I'm not saying everybody that likes rugby is gay, for fuck's sake. I'll get fucked. Although there is one, isn't there, that Gareth Thomas, who came out as a rugby player. Yeah, he came out as gay, and then he came out as he's got HIV as well now. So
bloody hell.
Let's. But these days they can live, can't they, for a long?
Yeah, apparently they can do. If they get you on these drugs, it's where it's not detectable and not transmittable. Like you ain't got it.
Yeah.
So, But anyway, we were talking about the police, weren't we?
Yeah.
And Jason lives in South Yorkshire, and I spend all my working time in South Yorkshire, but I happen to live just
in the Bahamas,
only just over the border in Northeast Derbyshire. Having said that, half a mile the other way is North Nottinghamshire. So, anyway, historically we've got a pretty good memory when it comes to South Yorkshire police. But I don't think it's not Special 20 police force, is it? They're all in the same position where what they spend their time doing. I'll give you an example. There was a shooting about a week ago on the Aberthorne estate in Sheffield.
Yeah.
I've driven past that place, 5 times today, and probably 5 times every working day. Now, you will, of course, see the police on Aberthorne Estate from time to time, but probably, I don't know, every other day or every other time, you might see a copper on Aberthorne Estate. I know they're always dropping people off, and, they're probably on that estate a bit more than a posh estate, but the other day there's a shooting. Now and every day since, you probably see at any one time there could be up to a dozen police vehicles within a square mile. Vans, cars, beat cars, high-speed cars, unmarked cars, they're all on it every day. And all of the local people basically are saying, we don't need the high visibility policing now. We needed it 2 weeks ago. Where were they then? And that's the point. Whatever the police do now is reactive.
Yeah, but that's the only way, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
That's the only way in everything. The only way in every. It's like when I know this is completely different, but it's the same sort of example. When I had my right leg, when my right leg first went daft back 10 years ago, and they managed to clear it. Well, not clear it, but they put a stent in it and it got it back, and I had a lot of nerve damage. But what they did is they did a scanners of my bottom half, and they said your left leg is 70% occluded, so it's 70% blocked up.
Oh dear.
And I said, well, are we going to do anything? And he said, no, we don't do anything until an event's occurred. We don't do any preventative stuff. It's all when the events occurred. So that's, like you say, it's reactive. They're reacting rather than being proactive in things, and that could save money. But it could save money, but they're not wanting to save money, are they?
No,
they're instructed not to save money. They spend as much as they want. It's a complete and utter joke.
I was talking to a guy the other day, and he's maintenance on. Well, he's a maintenance manager for one of the railway companies, and he showed me because he got one. He went, oh, and fished one out of his top pocket. All right. I went, what's that? And it was I'm just trying to look for something on my desk that's kind of the right sort of size. Probably about as big as the lid of a Zippo. Yeah.
Right.
But a lot thinner. I mean, like if you got an old-fashioned hammerhead and a new shaft, you know them like peg things you have to drive into it to make sure that it didn't come off again. Kind of one of them.
Okay.
And I said, oh, what's that? He said, well, that we use these as packers. And he said, there's normally 4 of these on each railway sleeper. I said, what, every one? And he went, yeah. Right. He said, guess how much the railway are charged for enough of these packers for do? So I went, what, like a 4? He went, yeah. I said, how much? He went, 20 quid. I went, what? And honestly, because he does the invoicing and sees it, these packers, and there are 4 on every single railway sleeper. How many of them are in the country? And these packers, and I'm not kidding. It was just so insignificant. He didn't even, till he touched it, he didn't realize he got it in his top shirt pocket, just like a wedge. And it weren't made of anything special. It was like an hard plastic. That was it. 20 quid for 4. They probably cost a penny. Literally, to press out of plastic, a penny. And, you know, that's how money gets wasted, isn't it? Because whether it's, I don't know whether it's private or government or whatever it is, but whoever actually pays for the maintenance of the tracks, that's who's paying for that, which is, I'm assuming, part government and part private. But somebody's making a lot of money out of it.
You're a fucking word you said then, apart from wedge, I think. What? I didn't hear a word. I've been reading it. It seems that the in chat room jokes have started to break out. So
that just means I'm being boring. So it's time to shut up.
Well, yeah. Well, I was going to put this up. I was going to put this up. There you go.
Oh yeah.
But I didn't. I avoided it. Well, I've done it now. So, but yeah, we've got some jokes coming up. And also I want to mention. By the way, give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It's up to you, whichever you get. It's Raconteurs news. It's Monday night. It's just me and Nate. Tomorrow night we've got Ben Emlyn Jones. He's going to be joining us tomorrow night, and we're going to be talking about his favourite colour, UFO, and all that stuff, and getting into the Max Egan stuff as well. I watched an interesting video today that was about Max Egan and Vinnie Eastwood, and as you know, I look at all sides of everything. I'm not just because I've got somebody on my show done me to say that I'm going to support them and support everything they do. So I looked at that as well. So there's another guy that I've been in touch with, but everybody's just like, I just can't pin anybody down. It's
you just got to put up with me instead.
So, well, yeah, but that's okay. I like doing that. That's not a problem at all, mate. I sat and talked to you. Our Super League has just put thumbs down. It's fucking shite. Is somebody going to ban him or what? I think he's.
We can't ban him. We're not moderators.
Well, no, he said he spent last night in Premier Inn, so I don't know what's going on, and he had some coppers there and stuff. So. Lee, just give me a ring tomorrow or something, mate. I just want to make sure you're all right and everything. Midnight Gardener said Max is no longer credible to me. A lot of people have that, and maybe that was the point of it. I really can't work it out, but there's just something not quite right about it. But I know Ben's done something on it. I don't know if he'll want to talk about it, or he'll want to talk about the fact that he's been summoned to appear. He's been invited for an interview under caution by the police, and that were a video that was I think was uploaded yesterday, and he said he was in tomorrow, so that would be today. So
let's just hope they didn't keep him and he didn't understand, and he is coming tomorrow.
Well, he did say. I know a lot of people have said just leave it because it did say voluntary and everything. So. Steve Owens has said his son had a UFO-ish sighting other morning at 4 a.m. Loads of people have them at that time, mate. It seems to be a big time for them. Blah 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 blah. Someone else put as well. BBC IFA Super Bowl Live gave away result at half time before. Joe and Shakira, 1 minute and 35 seconds and 5 minutes timestamp. I know it was the Super Bowl last night, and I think the Kansas City Chiefs who were playing the San Francisco 49ers, and I think the Chiefs were 10 points behind with about 6 minutes to go, and ended up winning. And it was the first time that a single team had come from double-digit deficit to win games 3 times in a single season. So and some Weefy man said somebody who did say that what the score would be. So yeah, hi to you, Weefy man, and thanks for that information. Max wants your money, says 59 Broadhurst. Apple, I mean that again could be it, because in the second video as well, he said I got your attention, and that's what I wanted to do, is get your attention. And it's just I don't know. You said he's going to be on a show, don't you? Let's not advertise. Well, we can. Let's not bother.
Why don't? Yeah, I think we should. share it. Apparently,
yeah, of course. Kevin Baker's show. Yeah.
I don't know which way around the time thing works, but the thing that I heard this morning, other people's probably heard it as well. Max said he's going to be on a show in the UK tomorrow. Now, whether that means today is tomorrow or Tuesday is tomorrow because of the time differences, I don't know. But it's the Kev Baker show. Now, last time I looked, I was subscribed to Kev Baker show on YouTube. But thinking about it, I've not had a notification for a while. So I may have been involuntarily unsubscribed, like they do. So I may not get a notification, but apparently he's going to be on the Kev Baker show. So worth a look.
Yeah. So it'd be worth tuning in. I think that's on Wednesday night. Oh, we'll have to find out, because
it might be tomorrow night, or
if we were having him on tonight, it'd be Tuesday morning for him, wouldn't it? So yeah. But anyway, I've been in touch with Max, and I'm going to get him on. We're going to ask the questions that people want asking, really. The Grand Beard Wank. Nice name. That is a great name, that, isn't it? The Grand Beard Wank. He says Shazam. I don't know what that means. Midnight Gardener says Max's tomorrow will always be a tomorrow ahead of ours. That's a fucking old... it's an old riddle in itself, isn't it, that one? I've written a couple of things down. Somebody, when we were talking earlier on about these dating sites and stuff, somebody put in the chat room that they like gingers, and I'd just like to agree. I can't remember I think it were Ron that likes gingers, and I'd like to say I concur. Gingers are the best because I've got one sat right behind this screen, and she's got access to knives and all sorts. So ginger is the best. That's why we're orange. See, here at Raconteurs News.
It'd be a bit like a scene out of Psycho, when instead of the shower curtain,
it's the green screen. Yeah, it could be right. That could it? They're talking about Kobe Bryant as well in the chat room.
Oh yeah, the basketball
player and his helicopter crash. And whenever something like that happens, it's inevitable that there's going to be all sorts of people with different theories and counter theories and different things, and then there'll be people making numerology. There's people like mad about numbers and will make any number out of a date or a time or anything like that. And the amount of people in there, I mean, 9 people died. People will say that that's suspicious. That's suspicious. Specific. What is it?
When you're trying to say suspicious, can you be a bit more specific?
What am I? Suspicious.
Suspicious. I'm a man who's got Bell's palsy. Can't talk out of half of my gob, and I can say it.
After showing like pigs, they roll in shit and make bacon. Ronald Malcolm says, one tip: never take a helicopter. I've been on a few helicopters in my time, and it's not the most pleasant of flights.
It's a good job you didn't say chopper.
Weefy Man says, I think Kobe was in the Bool, Hidden Hand, and all that. The Bool. What's the Bool? Sounds French. Do we have any French people? Midnight Garda don't eat pork anymore. We're all good. We have foreskins here, aren't we?
Oh yeah.
Yep, we've all got all foreskins, present and correct. Yeah. I saw. I also left a message for a guy that was. I think I talked about him on Friday when we did the After Dark, but I can't really remember much of that. But he's a comedian that had made a Jewish joke. I did mention it, didn't I? Did I mention it to you or to everybody? But anyway, I'm trying to get him on. He keeps having to get new YouTube channels all the time. Keeps getting banned, but he made some anti-Semitic, so-called anti-Semitic comment, and his agent dumped him, and no clubs will. He's a comedian. No clubs will take him, have him on, and he's basically destroyed his career. So, which is what they do. We know they do that, don't they?
Yeah, of course.
They do it all the time. I mean, she's a twat for it. I fucking hate her. Don't I? That what's her face? That Rachel Riley. I can't stand her. She's up to. I don't get what she's doing. What she's on a. She's an assistant on a daytime TV show. Why does she have such a, like Gareth Ike put something like that on his Facebook today? Why does she have why is she such a big hitter? Is it because everyone wants to do it? I don't get it. I don't get it. She's not attractive to me, I promise you.
Oh, she is to me.
To me now, I'll have to go and get them knives. I would. I don't like her.
Earlier on was talking about browsers, and I mentioned one called Brave.
Yep.
The reason I like Brave is because...
Listen, can we just make this clear that we're not being paid for this?
Oh, no. And this is one of your points.
Just your opinion. Okay, I just don't
No. You can, apparently, if you use the Brave browser, it's just an app. Or you can, just like any other browser. It's brilliant at stopping pop-ups and adverts, and I mean, it's like half the internet's disappeared.
Right.
What was the other one that I used before? DuckDuckGo. God, it's like it's 3 times as good as DuckDuckGo. I mean, there literally nothing comes up. You just get the stuff you want. And I run mine through a VPN. So I'm sure there is, you know, if they really want to find who I am, and they will, but I'm not that I'm bothered. Why is it anybody else's business what I'm looking at? And that's why I do it. But
and the shit you look at.
You what? Sorry.
And because of the shit you look at.
Oh yeah. No, but when you know when that sort of thing's working, because you know the adverts that have come up. Now, I'm a middle-aged or a bit more bloke who's single and has been for 3.5, nearly 4 years.
Fucking hell,
now, you know that when these things that trace you around the internet, you know, I mean, they don't know. They know more about me than I do, or they're supposed to. And then you get an appropriate advert come up, don't you? Like for a Peugeot car or a whatever.
Yeah,
you know that the browser that you're using and your VPN that you're using are both working when the adverts that I get are for a brand new lingerie shop that's opened up, and there's all these models there draping the boobies down the screen to me.
Let me show you what I got fucking last night.
So you know that it's working when you get all these shit adverts that are nothing that you might be interested in.
There you go. I'm just going to share my screen.
Go on then.
And this is what I got last night. Honestly, I just don't get it. Me, it's not sharing screen. Share screen. Application window. That one and share. And there we go. Can you see that?
What on earth is that?
That is a strap-on dildo with a hole for the vagina, so that they can put the strap-on dildos into each other. That's on mine. Why? Why am I getting that? It's gold. I've already got a gold thong. My mum and dad bought me a gold thong for Christmas about 10 years ago.
You see, again, that proves that whatever browser you're using and whatever VPN you're using is stopping stuff getting through, which is good.
You know, yeah, I'll stop sharing that now. But yeah, that's the sort of thing that pops up on mine all the time. I showed you the other one, didn't I? With them knickers that have got like a bit for your old Todger. They got a bit up front, but they were frilly knickers. You see, that still comes up all the time. I don't know what I'm typing. It must be what I'm saying. I don't know what's going on. It's like. Yeah, Grand Beardwank says it's like I've got some secret shopping habits.
She'll Destroyer might be implying that you're a sexual deviant.
She'll Destroyer says he's a coat hanger.
Fantastic.
Jason,
that was the other one that I'd made a note of as well. You know, with all this kind of politically correct bollocks, and people finding racism where it isn't, and fascism where it isn't, and they're the racists and they're the fascists, and a lot of comedians are like really, really backing away from all that shit and not going there because it's, you know, it's like dangerous ground. I saw a guy the other day called Finn Taylor. Just go on YouTube and watch his stuff. I don't suppose he thinks like we do by some of the other gags that he does, but the way he does any kind of sexuality, or the way he does racism or gays or LGBT, the way he does it is absolutely brilliant, where he doesn't offend anybody. And it could never even be slightly construed that he was offending anybody. But everybody finds it funny. Even if they were lesbian, gay, straight, whatever. You couldn't possibly be offended by it. But the way that he does it and how he gets the comedy out of it is fantastic. And he's the first comedian I don't think that I've actually searched for on YouTube to watch more of his stuff, after just seeing like about a minute of him on a TV, you know. But he was the one I was, who's that? and it's just the way that he did and everything that was supposed to be politically correct. He went for it, but stayed just the right side of every line there was. Absolutely brilliant.
Were he funnier than me?
Hmm?
Were he funnier than me?
Just a bit.
Okay. Well,
yeah, so when I went on about
really
the Brave
funny.
browser, you can collect Brave points, which I'm sure they'll want you to spend in some way. I don't even collect my free points for using it. So not only do I not get paid for it, I don't even take advantage of the free thing that you're supposed to get with it. I just use it. But it's a good browser and it's called Brave.
Right, okay. Once again, we're not getting paid for that, okay? It's not a paid advertisement. It's just Ada that likes his braveness.
Do you know, sometimes...
It sounds like a good... listen, I've got it on a couple of my devices. On my tablet, it's my main... it's my default browser. I just haven't got round to it on other different, things. You have so much shit these days, don't you?
Yeah.
Laptops and fucking phones and tablets and fucking dildos with holes in, so you can. I didn't. I thought
it's touch screen.
We see. Just have a look at. Let me just pop it up again. I know this is a bit, but let me just pop this up again for you.
And I'll tell you nobody watches this, isn't it?
Yeah. That one. There we go. So you see what I thought that were?
It looks like a bottle of champagne, and you're looking at it down like if that were the bottle, like you were looking at it from an angle like that, and it's sat on a gold triangle. That's what it looks like. But when you then point out that it's a dildo, you can then see that it is. Yeah.
Well, my first thought was it was a willy warmer, and them holes, that hole were for your balls to hang out. Right, so you put your willy in that bit that's like going long, and if you're wearing it under something, you're probably going to point at, especially if you've got tracky bottoms on. I think people are going to notice. See, you've been in supermarket, haven't you, with your tracky bottoms on, and you've got a stiffy for no reason, and you've had a whole fucking.
Hope somebody sees it and takes notice before it goes away. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've all done that, and I thought that's what this were. Well, you're going to be having them problems. I thought that were a willy warmer, and that's where your balls on that. So
yeah, but if it were cold enough to need a willy warmer, your balls wouldn't fall through there because they'd be that tightly packed. They won't fall through all.
Yeah. Well, they might do. I mean, sometimes you might have cold willy and warm balls.
Well, that's true. And for any females who are not sure what we're talking about, ask somebody else.
Oh, is that really a pair of pants? Shield Destroyer says, yes, it was an advert on my Facebook last night. Similar to the other one. Here we go. Someone's texting me. Oh, it's my wife. She's going to bed. Okay, baby. I'll see you.
Night.
Very clandestine, were it?
It weren't, were it? No, it weren't. So yeah, sorry, but my wife's going to bed, so she's going to.
We'll edit this bit out.
She's going to give me a kiss before she goes. We're into the second hour. We're about 8 minutes in. We've still got the coronavirus to talk about. Somebody made a point on a copper in every school. Just a second. Yeah, dog's in there. They're both going to bed. Dog's gone to bed. Wife's gone to bed.
Right then, coronavirus.
Yeah, well, what is it with this coronavirus? I mean, with this, it's ridiculous, isn't it? Corona. Right. First of all, there's the beer.
There's the beer, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And then there's This Is the Rhythm of the Night.
Yeah.
And then there's this thing that goes around sun when you get like an eclipse. That's a corona, isn't it?
Can't you have a corona in your eye?
You probably can.
I also think corona was the name of a pop man that used to come around on a van.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
That were Corona Pop, that weren't it?
Oh yeah, I love Corona Pop.
Yeah.
You love it. Like,
It were better than Roller Cola, but not as good as normal.
No, don't fucking Peter K this. I fucking hate the cunt. But they had some like really exotic like type flavors, didn't they?
Yeah.
The cream soda. I mean,
That's
cream
right,
soda Corona is better than the cream soda you buy now because it was in a glass bottle for a start, which we should go back to.
Yeah.
If the fucking plastic's such a problem, go back to glass. Fucking biggest glass makers in the world here. So
at Chesterfield down the road from you.
Yeah, and in Doncaster, there's a couple of places. So, go back to glass. So I don't know how we've gone on to pop. We're on to pop that you get. We've gone from coronavirus.
Right, coronavirus. Correct one then. Yep.
What about did you see? They've got these people coming from the region that have got the virus, and they're on the bus, and there's like this bloke in his hazmat and completely covered up, and bus driver's just there in his burgundy. Because bus drivers always have a burgundy, like a
blazer.
Blazer, yeah. He's in his burgundy blazer, and he's not giving a fuck. And like everyone, it just, what is going on? What is going on?
The reason I'm laughing is because of exactly that you pointed out, that I've now seen about 5 or 6 different pictures of. They flew him into, is it Bryce Norton, which is the military place where they land everything if it's a bit dodgy, isn't it? But yet they were going to be taken to a NHS facility, but it wasn't going to be run by the NHS, on the Wirral. Well, the Wirral is a bloody long way from Bryce Norton. Why couldn't they just landed it at Liverpool John Lennon Airport?
They'd already booked it, hadn't they? They'd already booked coaches. They'd rung up, looked in Yellow Pages. Is there a coach company near there where we need to go? And they found like Derek's coaches in Kingston upon Hull. And oh yeah, I'll do it. Oh, no problem. Right, lads, get your blazers on. We need 4 buses to Wirral straight away. Just a joke, not a joke. And it's also now this is I've not looked this up myself, so I can't. What's the word? I can't prove this.
Okay.
But I've seen posts where this was predicted in The Simpsons in 1993. There was a coronavirus in The Simpsons. There was something, and it would come from Japan, and it had like this thing of Japanese workers making boxes or filling boxes to send to Britain, sent to America, and they were coughing in it. And this virus went, and it was called coronavirus, and that were in 93. But then again, they did it with Ebola. Ebola. I don't know if you've seen the. He's a time traveler. What's his face? Matt Groening is a time traveler.
No, I've not seen this.
There's a lot of things in there. It's a really interesting video. It's probably more on. I'll find it for you. But the amount of things that have been in Simpsons that have come true. I mean, Trump. You've seen where Trump does exactly the same thing as he does on The Simpsons years ago, 15 years ago. And he does the same thing. He do same waves. It's just Nick GB says a virus was released in Raccoon City. Thank God for that. I thought he said Raccoon City. Thought we were fucking responsible then. Jesus Christ. Resident Evil. Raccoon. It might. Anyway, Raccoon is an anagram of Corona. And there is a biolab in Wuhan with the same logo as the Umbrella Corps in Resident Evil. Lol.
Well, apparently there's 2 biolabs in that city, apparently. But I'm to understand it is a strain of the influenza virus which presents as a pneumonia. But in most people who get it, it's a head cold.
Right.
So, listen, I'm,
It's a load of bollocks. Fucking Zika virus.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not. I don't ever want to be a scaremonger. But if you want, if you were the guy at the top looking down on all the minions and you wanted to control them, well, the easiest way to do it is you create a way that they have to look up to you for help. Somebody please do something. So they would suggest that there's this new strain of this coronavirus that's come from somebody eating a bat. Fucking yeah, right, okay.
Yeah, again, it's all in the language. Bat.
Yeah, of course it is.
Somebody like us is batshit crazy.
Yeah.
Right.
But they'll get everybody to believe this. Then they'll make it out to be a lot worse than it really is. Till then, everybody's begging to be vaccinated. And then, boy, oh boy, have you got control of everybody. Because at that point, you can stick whatever you want in their arm. Now, that's the ultimate control, isn't it?
It just makes me... fucking bats, man, for fuck's sake. What? Like you said, it's a head cold. I mean, the only thing that's ever really affected my head is a fucking cricket bat. No fucking thing hanging from a tree. But then you saw there was this thing as well, weren't they? There was this viral image of this woman eating this bat that were in some soup. So it was a bat. It was just like, you get some like onion soup, and then you fucking dump a bat in it. And she was like eating this fucking soup. And then I saw this thing that said that it's come from bats. And I thought, well, they fucking made that shit up because they saw that video, like rest on us. You know what I mean? It's just, that video will place there. For fuck's sake. What the fuck? Fucking the blokes there, everyone's got biohazards on, and old fucking Derek on fucking thing. He's thinking, bastard, I've left my fucking hat behind. I'm not going to be able to have a fucking whip.
He's sat there driving his bus. He's all right.
Yeah, exactly. He's fucking... It's just don't make any fucking sense. And also, I saw this, again, it's a Daily Mail... it's a Daily Mail article that I come upon, but it said...
Why the fuck were you reading the Daily Mail?
I weren't. I was just looking and it popped up and I thought, well, I'll look at advert. But, it don't matter where it comes from. This is just part of the propaganda bollocks. This just shows you how much bollocks it really is, right? This is the headline. Hunt for 480 Wuhan travellers lost in Britain. So I've got 480 people out there that we don't know where they are. Fucking hell, we're all going to die. What's going to fucking happen if we bump into one?
Well,
I'm suspicious of our neighbours.
Yeah. I mean, your neighbours, have they been making a lot of telephone calls lately? Because they might have been ringing the family a bit more often to find out if they're all right.
Oh, fucking... Look, it's just a complete and utter load of fucking bollocks.
But it's like when I
got... Anyway, everyone have your own opinion. It's to me, it's bollocks.
Well, I'm just trying to see if I can find that message that my Chinese friend Jenny sent me. Hang on a minute. Oh, God, what did she send it on? Oh, here we go.
Did she send you another one 10 minutes later?
No. This is what I sent. Hi, Jenny. Hope you're all well and this new illness is not affecting you or your family. Just dead benign. Thanks, I am fine. My family's all good. Everybody's great. Speak soon. Like, everybody's great. Not, oh, no, everybody is really scared of getting it. There's, what is it, is it more than 1 billion? I'm sure there's more than 1 billion Chinese out there.
Yeah, there is. It's close to 2 billion.
Yeah. So, a decent chunk of the so-called Earth's population could be at this big risk of it. And she's like, no, nothing to see here.
It's all fear. It's fear. It's a fear game.
I'm not suggesting that none of it is true, because there may well be some people who have got this and whatever it is, dead true. But apparently as well, more people will have died in the last 12 months from influenza than will from this coronavirus.
But we've got a flu shot, so that shouldn't happen. But there'll be a coronavirus shot.
Yeah, to make sure that you don't get something you can't catch anymore.
Derek's had it. That's why he doesn't need his hazmat suit.
That's it. He's already had it, isn't it? That's what they'll say.
He's already had the prototype of the vaccine. He's a hero.
Bus driver.
He was the guinea pig in the world of diseases. It's like it's like the old where you threaten a disease. I mean, how the fuck do you threaten a disease? Like they used to with them stupid fucking women's adverts for running about in fields for fuck all and making money. And they used to say, "Cancer, we're coming for you. We're going to get in." I'm thinking to myself, cancer don't give a fuck. Fucking what the fuck?
Well, that, funnily enough, now is the latest advert. Have you seen it?
No, what's that?
Cancer doesn't care about your plans. Cancer doesn't care about you. It doesn't care whether you're married or... and it's that sort of vibe, exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
Exactly what you just said. That's the latest one.
They toned it down, and I think they changed the motto every year. And one I saw a few years ago... fuck off.
Mr. Potato Head. Is that what you just read?
Yeah.
I read that as well.
Yeah, what were we talking about? Cancer, yeah, weren't we?
Yeah.
And a couple of years ago, it's changed. It were like, so we can beat cancer together. And then it were, we can beat cancer sooner. Sooner than what? Sooner than you were going to already.
Yeah.
Innit? It's just fucking ridiculous. It's all this crap. But, you've got these people, and the good people, I know they are. The good people, they're doing it for all right reasons. They're just getting fucking steamrolled over.
Getting
and,
scammed.
if he's pointed out to them, they get offended by it.
Yeah, because effectively you're telling them that their God doesn't exist.
Well, no, yeah.
That's what you're telling them, isn't it? Because they've got a loved one who's, had cancer and sadly died. And that's why they're doing all this, which is for the best reason in the world. And for somebody to try and then explain to you that actually, this godly thing that you look to, it's bollocks.
It is. It's but what can you do? I mean, these people are doing it, and they're doing it out of, love for the person that they've lost, and it makes them feel better. And I understand it for that. If you could just say it weren't all money orientated. If you just all said, well, we're all cancer, we're families of cancer victims. We're all going to get together and we're going to do something. We're going to have a picnic in a field, or we're going to run around and have a sports day or something like that. And it weren't so much just money orientated. Then that's fine. I know that helps people, and I'm for people not getting ripped off, because that's what people are getting. They're getting ripped off. Well, when fucking CEOs' fucking wages.
Yeah, just look at what the CEO's on. It's normally $500,000-ish.
Well, 250 grand last time I looked on cancer research, and it were a bird. I can't remember her name. And by the way, ladies, I'm only using this language because I'm not supposed to, and saying bird and stuff like that, because I'm not supposed to. Because I'm a rebel. A rebel. I need a joint though, mate.
Yeah. But
come on.
No, I wanted to say something else about
Carl Fredrickson and the Mr. Potato Head show.
That's it. No, okay. The Greta Thunberg thing.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember whose video it was. And basically what they'd done, they'd collated all these supposedly different people that had asked to debate climate change with that Greta Thunberg. And there were like loads. I mean, it was just a barrage of stuff.
Right.
And nobody, and just no answer to any of that. Just will not do a debate. And I think I think with any subject, there's always something that tips you over the edge. And I think the thing that really, really clinched it for me was, the percentage of carbon in the air, 0.039. So it's less than half of 1% of the air is carbon. And this is what they're all supposed to be scared of. And I think, no matter how good the indoctrination is, if they need people who spout carbon, if they knew that, surely it'd make them at least have a look at it. You'd think, wouldn't you?
Well, you would do, wouldn't you? But they're too busy, aren't they? They've got to take fucking Charles to his fucking piano class. Yeah. These are the people. These are the people that are that are most taken in by it by all this, because they're the ones that have got this idea of the world. Whereas when you've got people that are struggling, they know fucking reality. They know reality. They know. And if if someone said something to you, someone said, "Oh, by the way, so and so says this," and you knew that the person that they were talking about were a fucking lying bastard, you'd just go, "The lying bastards." But these people that have got Henriettas and Confuciuses and what fucking God knows,
the comfortable middle class.
Comfortable, yeah. They've got like a BMW estate, and the bloke's probably got a fucking Aston Martin, or no, we're not going that far. Let's go for an Alfa Romeo. Just because he wants to be different, and they've got the mortgage, and they've got the couple of kids which they can afford comfortably to go to private schools and shit. These are the people who aren't prepared to accept reality, and we can't force it down the throat, because it's they're going to just, if you try to impose anything on anybody. I hope anyway that everybody would react to that and respond, back. So you're not fucking imposing that on me. I just fucking hope. So, we just have to keep talking about it, like we do on Mondays and Tuesdays, and sometimes on Fridays. I'm just going to say, give us another book. Give us a like if you can't give us a like or a dislike, even thumbs up, thumbs down. It gives us a really nice, cozy feeling inside. Don't you feel good? You feel like you've just taking all that in. Ooh, my nipples are going all stiff. No, it's definitely not an after dark show, by the way. Shield Destroyer says NHS is great if you can wait 3 years. Yep. Tazzy Man says Mark Malcolm, I have 2 lives left. It's the cat in me. Okay. So you've had your 7. God knows how many I've had. I've probably had about 7 and all. Fucking hell. Grand Beardwank, what a great name. It is that, isn't it? Grand Beardwank. Have you got a beard? What do you think? What's your thoughts on Beard's Aid? Would you have one? Have you ever tried to have?
No, mine's terrible, mate. Half of my beard grows that way. This bit kind of grows that way.
Right.
I've got like gaps in it here. It's about 25 different colours, and it just seems to grow outwards in like no. It's just no. I think about 10 years ago, I had about a month when I tried to do the goatee thing, and it just happened to be the time when I needed a new passport photo, and when I realised that I looked a complete dickhead with it, it was too late because I'd already sent the picture off.
What? So you had to keep the goatee just so that you could get out of that country?
No, I still shaved it off, but for 10 years, my my passport and my driving license have got a picture of me on with a goatee, and I ain't, no.
So when they say this is not you, this guy's got a goatee, you go, I don't understand.
Yeah, he's got just give him a pen and get him to draw one on, then he'll go, oh yeah, it's you.
Hi,
see now, it's you.
See now, senor. I see you come here. Oh. God, I need a joint. It's just been one of them days, mate. It's just been one of them days. Fuck it. Do you know what happened this morning? You know how hard it is for me to get upstairs?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know how hard it is for me to get upstairs. So I goes up this morning. I've come downstairs and, you know, and I greet Watson and we have his little morning ritual where he comes and sits on me and goes like that, and I rub his belly and goes and starts howling and stuff. And so I did that, and then I thought to myself, fucking hell, because normally if I want a shit, I'll have one before I come down. But it crept up on me. In fact, what it were is a clean coffee machine. I cleaned it all up because we hadn't used it for a long time, and I had a coffee out of it, and it really made me want to go for a shit. So, right, I'm on my arse on my way up to top of fucking stairs to have a shit. I just get on my little wheelchair thing upstairs. I get into the bog, I get on my foot and spin round and get onto the bog. I start having my shit and fucking phone rings that I've took up, obviously, because I want to do Facebook and shit while I'm having a shit. The phone rings and it's nurse. And she says, I'm 5 minutes away. I'm on the right corner. And I thought, oh my God. So I had to really push and really get as much
easy tiger.
But 5 minutes. You know what they usually do? They usually ring me up an hour before and say, if you need to, you know, you might need to take some pain relief, you know, before. She fucking rings me up 5 minutes before. And then she comes and does, no, I'm not going to start moaning about one of the nurses on while we're on here. But no, that it's just been one of them days, mate. It's just been one of them days where everything that can go wrong does go wrong. If I think of something, it boom, just goes wrong. If I can think of something going wrong, it will.
Of course it will.
But wait, you know, we're all right. We're on air.
Yeah, we are. What else will do? Something else. I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, no, it was just quite a few things that I've watched recently have all mentioned. You can tell when it's part of the agenda because you're not allowed to talk about it or you're not allowed to debate it. You're supposed to just believe what you're told. You know, it's like when them dickheads say, some things will be on debate. No, they're not. Nothing's ever beyond debate. Ever. You know, you might learn something. So when people are saying, some things are just beyond debate, it's because they don't. If they won't debate it, it's because if they did, they'd probably bloody lose.
You know, like I was saying earlier on, I'm having trouble. Well, not trouble, but you know, it just seems always wrong time when I'm trying to book guests and things. And you know, I think there's probably something going on because the other day, right, we had fucking Mormons on street. And they didn't even come to my house. Why would they not come to my house?
Have you got a removal of implied right of access at your window?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. I fucking fuck that off. I just tell them to fuck off. I just say, look, I've only got one leg. You can just fuck. There's nothing you can do now. Fuck off.
No, I mean, they don't knock on mine anymore, but.
And sometimes, you know, I feel bad when it's milkman. But other times, no. I'm just looking on Sky News now. The mother of Streatham terrorist had a feeling it was him when she heard the news. When she heard the news of the attack. London Soho evacuated as World War II bomb discovered. Fucking hell, fire! Have they not all found all bombs yet? And if they're not already gone off, they're not going to go off, are they?
Well, you don't know, but
no, but you come on, that's part of life, isn't it? You go in and you just take it out and you just dig it out like we're JCB, and if it goes off, it goes off. You're a hero. You're the hero that Hitler couldn't, you know, that Hitler killed all them years later.
Hmm. No, is that for real then? They've shut part of Soho off because they found a bomb?
Yeah, World War II. Bomb discovered. I mean, I remember where they once found one at Bramall Lane, didn't they?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh yeah, quite a few years ago. I think when I was at school. So I think they found one either. I don't know if it were in football ground, but it were on Bramall Lane, and that was shut off for a while.
Going to say it would probably, in the rebuilt pitch after war, it was probably a Wednesday fan that will leveling pitch off. And you saw it in Oland, thought, fuck it, be right. Just covered it in.
Well, it's fucking not does any favours. The rate are far in front of us at the moment. Right. So, elderly woman raped and murdered in bed, by gardener. Okay, that's a sad story. Daughter who stabbed abusive fat father to death is cleared of murder. Another sad story. This is just so sad, isn't it?
There's never good news on, is there? I don't know. It's just never anything good, is it?
Scout killed in fall on trip was unaccompanied by leaders. Again, negligence, fucking shit. But man, you know what kids are like. He might have gone off on his. He might have. I'm not saying he did, but Paul didn't deserve out like that. Emily Matlis Stalker. Oh, she is jailed after 12th restraining order breach. So he's breached a restraining order 12 times, and they finally put him in prison. That's the fucking justice system. But then again, prison service, it's on a fucking edge. It's on a knife edge.
Everything's so underfunded because people really do believe, they've got to have these cutbacks. So people expect people's expectations are that things are just going to get worse. And even people who believe in the voting system aren't voting for a positive outcome. They're voting for what they think might be the lesser of the two evils. Nobody's got any expectations of anything ever getting better. It's just like a nosedive, and it's just negative all the time.
Yeah, they've dug this fucker up from somewhere. Michael Barrymore, Stuart Lubbock's father, thanks the Star for keeping spotlight on son's death. So that that bloke that they found,
in his pool, yeah,
in Barrymore's pool. Well, his father is thanked Barrymore, so they must have had some sort of conversation somewhere.
Did you ever meet Barrymore? I didn't.
No, I never met Barrymore. No.
Well, I've seen sort of interviews of him after that, and I think the paper at the time said it was a gay orgy or something.
Yeah,
and apparently it was two heterosexual couples and a gay bloke, and there were no sex. But don't know.
I thought the guy that they found dead in pool had his arse rammed.
No idea.
I think that's what I think I heard. There's something like that. I think Richard D. Hall did something about it.
Right.
Richard D. Hall did something with Terry Lubbock, I think, who's Stuart Lubbock's dad. So have a look at that. It's 74. Trying to find out what happened to his son. You got to, these stories. But that's what they're designed to do. They're designed to make you feel down, make you feel like this world's like a piece of crap and everything. But it isn't, is it? I mean, there's loads of gems out there, loads of people, loads of things that.
I think I've got to the sort of the point now where I'll look at things that are supposed to be news or whatever, and I just burst out laughing. And I just think, do they really expect us to believe that? But then the next day, you realize that most people do believe it. And it doesn't matter how ludicrous it is. People just believe it. It's like it's April Fool's Day every day.
Yeah. It's a wonder coronavirus is called bat flu. They should do it.
Dear.
They've got to be consistent. Bat flu, bird flu, swine
Flu, SARS,
SARS,
foot and mouth.
fucking what was that other one? If you watch too much telly, your eyes will go square.
With that one, yeah.
That were a fucking lie, weren't it?
What my parents did nothing but lie. Father Christmas, Tooth Fairy, square eyes, blindness. My mum used to tell me that every afternoon.
Mind you, we're talking, aren't we? Don't sit too close to telly or you'll need glasses, and we're both sat here with glasses.
We'll say, looking at a screen wearing glasses.
Right, you know, I got these because I sat on my glasses, so I didn't have any head that, like, remember that?
Yeah, Jack Duckworth.
Well, I bought these, and I don't know if you can see that they're like purplish. Anyway, I'll back at it. I looked up back at Amazon box, and the cheeky cunts put women's fucking readers. Like I'm not allowed to like purple.
Well,
do you remember the other TV host they wrecked with the rape case? Yes, they. I think you're talking about what's his name? You know what I'm talking about, John Leslie.
Oh, that's right. They did, yeah.
Yeah.
God, yeah, that's right.
John Leslie, he's not made it back, has he? See, that's what they can do. They can just stop you like that. Your career, I mean, his career was soaring. Then that sex tape comes out. That's none of anybody's business. Nobody's business. As long as there was nobody being, that weren't consenting to it, it's nobody's business. And yet his career went over it. And then she made a bit of money out of it, didn't she? Titmus, wasn't it? Abby Titmus.
Is that who Abby Titmus was?
Yeah, she were his bird or something at one time. It's just they just completely fucking destroyed him. I don't know what he's doing now. He might be working at Quick Fit.
Yeah,
they could be doing. Oh, you don't know, do you? I mean, he had a good career. He was doing Wheel of Fortune. He'd done. He was on Blue Peter. Remember? What about those two? Then remember them two children's CBBC fucking presenters who killed themselves. One was. It was set up like she was killed and he went off and killed himself in the roof. Let me find out. Fucking,
I don't remember this.
They were.
How long ago?
Everybody knows the names. If anyone can remember the names, it was about 2000-ish.
Zig and Zag. Sorry.
Yeah, that's them. It was like set up. It looked. I don't remember that at all. A murder suicide.
Oh right, okay. So one murdered the other, and then suicided.
They went out together. They were young. Let's have a look. Christian Digwell. Anybody know?
He presented a program called Smart.
No, that was too late. No, this were two of them. This were two of them. It were a bloke and a bird.
Don't know more.
Like he's killed her.
Mark Spate.
Mark Spate. That's the one. Thank you, James Howe.
Is he the one who got like bubbly, curly blonde hair?
No, he got blonde hair, I think. Let's see if we can find it on Google.
God, we don't have to get talking about some stuff that I know nothing about. You can tell there's no script, can't you?
Yeah. So apparently he'd murdered his bird, who was also a BBC presenter, and then he'd gone and killed himself. I'll tell you what it looks like. Let me share my screen. It looks like I don't want to share that fucker. Oh, where have you gone? Oh, there we go. Share screen. Share screen. Application window. Not that one. Is it that one? No, not that one. Oh, you're in. Where has it fucking gone? It's gone. Oh, Mark Spate, Wikipedia. Why is it not letting me? Won't let me do that. Oh, Chrome tab. There we go. Mark Spate, Wikipedia. There you go. Am I sharing?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
So this is the guy here, Mark Spate. Looks a bit like Matt Damon, doesn't he? Young Matt Damon.
Yeah, I guess he does. Yeah.
Presenter of See It, Saw It.
Right.
That's what you said, isn't it?
No, smart.
Right, okay. His fiancée was actress and model Natasha Collins, who he used to do. See, here's a clue. He took part in live events such as Rolf on Art. There was always rumours that these two had been fucking abused as kids and had been knocked off. He became the president of the muscular dystrophy campaigns, yada, 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 and he was a spokesperson for Childline. In January 2008, Spate found Collins' body in the bath of their shared London flat. He was arrested on suspicion of her murder, but not charged with any offence. An inquest later determined that Collins had died of a drug overdose and severe burns from hot water. In April that year, Spate was reported missing and later discovered to have hanged himself near Paddington Station. 2 suicide notes were discovered describing how he could no longer live without Collins. Yeah, but there was always...
we just point out that is on Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's Wikipedia, yeah.
Sorry.
Hang on. There we go. Stop doing that. Yeah, so always been questions about things. Fucking no, it's working now because I've green screened everything. Tony Hart died of a nasty illness. Can't quite remember what. Can you remember?
No.
Were it AIDS?
Don't know.
AIDS, weren't it?
Don't know.
AIDS, I think. He did, remember all the gallery? Can you imagine how fucking cool it would have been if you were a kid that sent a picture in and it was on gallery, Tony Hart's gallery?
Yeah. Dum ba dum 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 dum.
That's it.
That was it, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. If you got I've got new comments, but it won't fucking. I think they've stopped. I think what happened underneath with someone else's. I'll post something, shall I?
Let's talk quickly about tomorrow night then.
Yeah, Ben Emily Jones is coming on. We're going to be talking to him about UFOs.
And Max Egan, I hope.
And Max Egan, I hope, but we'll probably only touch on that a little bit. I don't know if he's... see, I don't know if you can see that now. I don't know if he's wanting to talk about that or not. But we've got plenty to go at anyway because it's more... I think he's broadened his spectrum, if you mean. You know, it used to be completely UFO.
Yeah.
Well, not completely, but it was UFO orientated mostly. And I think he's gone a little bit away from that now. Watson's making a right funny noise. He snores like a fucking trooper. Yeah, so Bedge is on, as I used to call him, tomorrow night. Met him, what a cracking fella. Couldn't meet a nicer fella, and I know people say that, but I don't talk out of my arse. If I think you're not bad, I'll tell you, and I'll tell everyone else as well. But yeah, he's going to be coming onto the show tomorrow night. So hopefully, he'll be able to tell us about his experience at the police station as well, which should be interesting.
Yeah.
If he's in a position to do that, I don't know. I don't know what sort of restrictions will be put on him, but if he's not been arrested and it's voluntary, I don't know really how much harm we can do. But we'll talk to Ben tomorrow. He was down in London for the when we left the EU for 11 o'clock on 31st. He went down to London for the celebrations of that. So he'll be able to tell us about that as well. So he's all around. He should have, and he can talk as well. So we'll have no problem.
He's very easy to. I find Ben very easy to listen to.
Yeah, he is very. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So yeah, tomorrow night 8 o'clock-ish, isn't it?
Tomorrow night 8, yeah. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Now then. Mummies and daddies, do not miss tomorrow night at 8 o'clock when we've got Ben Emlyn Jones, Professor Emlyn Jones on the show. Hey, I'll fucking get them fucking gold underpants.
Yes, right, okay. Are we calling it, or
yeah, we can do.
Or have you got someone else you wanted to go through?
Well, we've got 10 minutes, man. It's not fucking much to fill, is it? I mean,
I know what I wanted to do. Oh, no, I keep looking at my list here. It's quite just what I noticed was, you know, when you look at, if you just put in Google Australian fire, or Australia and fire, and press images, about 10 or 15% of the pictures that come up are actually what you would appear to be taken from a satellite, and there's that much fire, it's all glowing orange. But it's like the country's all on fire. But then you have a look at where there have been the most fires consecutively at the same time it would be impossible for that picture to have ever been taken. You know, because everything's designed to be a lot worse than it really is, or for a different reason than it really is. And it would be really, really interesting to know how much of a picture like that is actually possible. I mean, when I kind of worked it out in my head, it'd be impossible. And I'm not saying the fires are happening, because clearly they are. You know, we've had Australian people on here telling us they are. So I don't think for one second I'm not. But I know, I thought Max Egan's take on it was quite interesting. You know, thinking that they've been spraying combustible chemicals. And that had all sort of added to it. So let's see how it all... what I was going to say, see how it all develops. Because apparently now they're just going into the so-called fire season is about to start, or summer, as we'd call it.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got it. I mean, they portray the animals, the deaths of animals, quite a lot. I mean, they're not really talking about who's who's responsible for these fires. It's all about who should be cleaning it all up, and I don't think there's much of an appetite in government to really handle the situation in a good way. I don't know what's the story. Is it the fucking railway line thing again, or is it gentrification, trying to move people into cities? Because people have been told that, you know, they're not going to be able to move back to where they were.
Yeah, apparently they've been offered money for their land and all sorts, haven't they? So is it a land grab? You know, I mean, Max Egan, he was pretty convinced that the chemicals that were being sprayed were exactly what is in a sparkler that we have on Guy Fawkes Night. So when they're doing that, and then they're blaming it all on climate change. But again, you know, you look at that program that's been on tonight on, I think it was Channel 4, it was advertised it was going to be on at 8 o'clock. You know, it's like I said at the beginning, Australia on fire, climate emergency.
Yeah.
It's a fucking fire emergency.
Well, there's probably a fucking climate fucking squad at some point.
Oh, yeah, there will be, yeah.
You know,
they'll be having a war on climate.
And I bet there's always, like, when there's been a fucking 6-foot wave in fucking Barbados, and they think it might be due to climate change or something, so they'll fuck off over there and have a look, do a 6-month fucking test on area, you know, in Barbados. Yeah. All paid for by carbon taxes and bollocks like that, and fucking that's the little cunt, fucking Greta Thunberg, who'll do it. Oh, by the way, I've said her name now. She's copyrighted it, so I'm probably going to get into a little bit of trouble if she's copyrighted her name.
She has, yeah.
Yeah, good old Greta. Go get her, Greta, as they used to say. How are you, mate? How are you? Just last few minutes. How are you coping with this?
Yeah, I'm all right. I don't know. I guess I'm sort of taking stock a bit at the moment. Just sort of thinking, as I sort of get closer to being able to get to my little bit of pension, it's just like, what do I do? So I'm just spending every day sort of mulling over what I might want to do, really.
Your mind's a cacophony. It's twisting around. It's like like Twister, that film.
No, it's dustbin, really. It's more like a wheelie bin.
What were it? The fucking Jesse Jackson, didn't he complain that there weren't enough people, not enough black people killed in Twister? Fucking, they weren't right because there weren't enough black people that were killed. Fucking Jesus Christ, and people say fuck all, fucking no. I think that's a joke, actually. I think it's a joke that I heard. But yeah, I mean, with me, I'm fucking losing my memory, I think. And I was fucking, I'm losing my memory.
Mark, I might just do that, mate. I might just do that.
What's that?
Shield destroyer. Run, mate, run.
Yeah, get out of here. But to Australia, mate. Oh, not Australia. No, where you fucking going now? Jesus Christ. See, that's it. That's my memory completely gone. I went to see my uncle. He's got a similar sort of problem.
He smokes too much weed as well.
Yeah. And he's got this new medicine. And I went over and I was sitting chatting to him. And he says, I said, that's memory. And he says, oh, it's not, it's all right. It's not bad. He says, I've got this new medicine. It's doing all right. I said, I've got similar sort of problem. Anyway, I said, well, what's it called, this medicine that you've got that's doing so good? And he says, oh, fucking hell. He says, fucking, what's the name of that fucking flower? What's the name of that flower that, women like? And I said, what a tulip? And he goes, no, not tulip. No, he says, you like wear them at special occasions, can be red and all. I said, what, a carnation? He says, no. It's the other one, you get it for fucking women. What's it called? Fucking hell. I said, what? A rose. He goes, that's it. Rose, what's the name of that fucking medicine that I've got?
Oh dear.
And that's that. Well, we'll end this broadcast now. Well, we're nearly at end anyway. It's only 3 minutes to go. Thanks to everybody who's watching. Really, we've had great numbers tonight. It's really been good. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night. We'll have Ben Emlyn Jones on, and even if you're not into UFOs, he'll have opinions on things that you are into. I know because I've watched quite a bit of his stuff recently. And my chat thing's fucking died, so I've got it up here in a different box, and I'm just looking at chat in there. I'd just like to say hello, thanks to everybody who's been in there. Shield Destroyer, Richard Burke, Weefy Man, Steve Owens, Midnight Gardener, Apple Charlotte, Paula B, Super Leeds, Alan Vicker, Tony, Don't Tell Him Pike, which is Neil, Apple Charlotte again, Alan McVicker, Tazzy M, Midnight Gardener. You've been all superb. Give us a thumbs up if you want, or a thumbs down wherever you're watching us. You can watch us on Facebook and on you can watch us on the Raconteurs News page on Facebook and on YouTube as well. And so like and subscribe to us as well if you and get notifications from when we're on. But that's just it for us tonight. Thank you very much to my co-host and co-conspirator Aid. Last word to you, mate. What you got to say?
Good night, Carl. Good night, Sharon.
There you go. Good night, Carl, and good night, Sharon, and good night to everybody who's watching out there. If you're in pain, I hope that that subsides a little bit. We're sending all our love and prayers to all of you, and we'll see you tomorrow night with Ben Emlyn Jones. Take care. Ta-ra a bit.
See you later.